Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Judy and you are watching Running So and So on this very muggy, sticky Saturday afternoon towards the end of June. We have just had, I don't know if we've had truly heat wave conditions up here in my bit of Yorkshire, but there's been heat wave conditions throughout the UK and it has just taken us all by surprise. So I shall start by telling you what it is I'm wearing. And if you've been, I'm looking down here because I've actually got my fan. If you've been on Instagram and you've heard me this morning, I've brought my little friend the fan down because I've got so hot, but I've turned it off because we've had some rain. So I am wearing the Sauvie dress that I made for the Sew 7 Together challenge that I did with Mandy and Sam last year. And yeah, it's such a lovely floaty dress. I actually wore it to work yesterday. And one of my colleagues went, "Whoa, Judy, we can see you coming." And I went, "That's the whole point." But so many people said they absolutely adored the fabric. And when I have to admit, when I got it, I thought, ooh, do I or don't I like it? And I thought, I'm going to make it up. And I thought there's a reason I've got this fabric. And I think it looks fantastic. In fact, Ashley, who is the lady that runs Duttons with Buttons in York, she came into the house last year when we had a Bridgerton weekend because she was all dressed up in a Bridgerton finery, and she goes, "God, Judy, you pop in that dress. I love it on you." So thank you, Andrea, for pushing me out of my comfort zone, and I absolutely love it. It's definitely got the wow factor, and I think the colours, the green and the pink, are brilliant because my skin's, I'm very lucky. As I said last week when I did my Think Pink, I go brown. And because I work outside with children, I pick up the sun day by day, sun cream on, and day by day, and it builds up. So, and I think the colours pop. I think it all just works with me, with my hair and everything. I need to be bright, so I am super pleased with it. And it will be going into the wash today, and it will be worn again to work next week because I don't think it's going to cool down. It's going to cool down, but I still think it's going to be underlying warm. And I felt so comfortable at work yesterday wearing this, and it is the Sauvie dress by Sew House 7. I'll just put a little picture in here of the Sew House 7 pattern sleeve. This is Peggy, who is Sew House 7, wearing the dress, and it is just the most beautiful dress. I've made them in linen, I've made them in viscose. I've got two from Pink Door Box Fabrics that I made last year. Another one I made in linen, I gave it to Pam, who is Sweet Pea Green. Again, a good shout out for my friend Pam. If you've not followed Pam, head over and have a little look at Pam. And while I'm on it and talking about it, Mandy, who is Make It So, has got some fantastic videos going up at the moment. So if you don't follow Mandy, click the link below, go and follow Mandy. And Clare Bobbins. Now, Clare Bobbins has just started popping up on my YouTube feed over the past few weeks, and she has got such a gentle voice. Oh, it's just so soothing listening to her. So go over and give Clare Bobbins a little bit of a watch. And if you are watching this, Clare, I don't know if this is going out Saturday night or Sunday morning, so when you see this you've probably had it, but I really hope that your very first sewing social has gone off fantastically, because one of my friends, little Liz Stitches, or little Miss Jameson, I don't know what she calls herself, anyway, my friend Liz is going to it. So Liz is looking forward to it, and I really hope that you have a fantastic time. And I will come to sewing socials again at the end. So, oh, I've talked there for 4 minutes. 4 minutes, and I've not stopped. Yes, I'm getting back into it. So, let me say thank you to you all. Thank you so much to everyone who has watched, liked, commented on one of my latest videos. It's fantastic. Thank you so very much. I appreciate every comment, every like, just every interaction with my channel basically. And I am going to now just share something a little bit about me. I've not been very well. I've got some new medication and it's knocked me out, which is why I don't appear to have done much over the past couple of weeks. I just had to stop. Basically couldn't do anything because my body said I needed to sleep. So I did. So what have I been sewing? I might not have been sewing, but I've been doing a lot of preparation and planning and printing. But I did finish one of my essentials from my list of makes. And it is, and I haven't put them on. If I get the chance to put a picture of me wearing them, but they do fit, just ask Liz, because I put them on and modelled them and she said, they're fine, Judi, what are you worried about? They are my lovely linen viscose free range slacks. I'll try and put a picture of them in. So this video is going to go up tomorrow because I want to take a picture of me wearing them. And it's too hot and sticky to go and try clothes on. Far too hot and sticky. But it's just another pair of free range slacks for me to have to wear. They do fit perfectly. I made the same size that I made last year. They fit just like the ones I made last year because I've made them in a linen viscose before. I know they fit because my weight stayed the same for a year because, excuse me, I'm just going to get something. I think I'm allowed to share this because I don't like talking too much about weight loss and everything. But it became very obvious last year that I was on a bit of a weight loss journey. And I go to Slimming World and I've been going to the same lady for years. And in September 23, I decided to take the bull by the horns and get back on it properly. And I lost all the weight I'd put on. And I got to Target last June. Look what I got this last week. And it says I am a diamond member of Slimming World, which means I've been at Target for a year. So I'm really, really pleased. Really, really proud of myself. So that's that over and done with. So I've done all the things that have been happening. So yeah, because I've been not being able to sew because I've come in from work and I've been really tired and I've focused on doing what I need to do. So that is eating sensibly, exercise and sleeping, and boy have I slept. I'm coming out the other end now. I am starting to I'm starting to mix with the new medication. So that's the best way of describing it. It's working. So I have joined Thready Set Go. Now, if you've not joined Thready Set Go before, it's one of the many virtual sewing rooms. So I do the virtual sewing room, which I adore, and I've started doing Thready Set Go. Now, the only virtual sewing room I have not had the chance to join yet is Alison, who is so like Dottie, and I really want to join. And hers is called Sew Virtual. I'll try and remember to put all of them in the description box below. So there's the virtual sewing room, Thready Set Go, and Sew Virtual. And if you've never done a virtual sewing room or a virtual sewing room, if you've never done a virtual sewing session, I would heartily recommend them for anybody. So they're great because it's just like you sit at your sewing machine. So my sewing machine's just here. I'm not even going to move it. Yeah, sit here with my sewing machine. And just down here next to me, in fact, just down here, where this is my laptop. So I'm sewing away and I'm chatting, and it's great. So I have joined Thready Set Go. Now, if you follow Tamlin, Sewing on the Time, she got quite excited and she said, I'm going to have a real fangirl moment because the Pattern Club now, so Thready Set Go do this thing called Pattern Club. And each month they feature a pattern. And last month it was a Tilly and the Buttons, and I think it was a Samara top, but I hadn't joined up and done, because you get to do one for free and then you have to decide if you're going to stay or not. And they take your card and you do your first session. You've got like 48 hours to decide whether it's for you or not, because if it's not for you, you can just cancel it all and they don't take your money. But Tamlin said it's Helen's Closet this month, and it's the Falconer Pants, and I thought, ooh, I like the sound of the Falconer Pants. So I quickly, she says, shooting around looking for the picture of the Falconer Pants, which, believe it or not, will be at the front here. Here we go. Just talk amongst yourselves. Falconer Pants by Helen's Closet. And apparently when they do the end of it, the sewing club, the pattern club thing, there's this pattern party, and you to book your place, you go online, and there's going to be Jen Hogg on this pattern party. There's going to be Kate from the Fold Line and Helen from Helen's Closet. So Tamlin's put on there, we're having a right fangirl moment when Helen pops up, and I'm like, ooh, I quite fancy doing that. Thanks for the tip, Tamlin. And look, I've signed up for it. So I have the pattern. You get a discount if you buy the pattern through the Pattern Club. Which I've done, and I've cut it out, and I am using my lovely, this is just an offcut, yes it is, that lovely denim that we got in the pink door box Now I think we got it in the autumn. Please don't quote me, because I've been very lax and not put it on stash up. I call it having grandchildren. Other people will have other ideas. But here you go. This is the lovely, lovely denim. I'm not even going to say what it came from. I think it could have been a Lady McElroy. But it's not an ultra lightweight. It's not, I would say, a medium. It's definitely not heavyweight. I would say it's a light to medium weight. So it should make a lovely pair of Falconer pants. And so I've decided, rather than going for the wide-legged ones, I'm going to go for the barrel-legged ones. I've always fancied a pair of barrel-legged trousers, and especially after I did that lovely pair of trousers for Ruby, when I did the Helen's Closet pattern test, I thought, I'm going to make those. And this summer, I'm going to Alaska. So it's going to be cooler than being in Oregon. So I'm going to need like cooler clothes that are slightly warmer. So I have taken out of my list of makes, I've taken out one pair of trousers and slotted the Falconers in. So tonight I have got a Thready Set Go social sewing session, and I'm getting ready to sew Falconer pants on that. Whether I get mine finished or not in time for the party, I don't know. But I thought it would be absolutely lovely to go on, and hopefully I'll be able to get to say my fangirl hello to Helen, because I have been on Helen and Caroline's Love to Sew podcast. I'll put the link to that in the description box below. And it was the lovely Tamlin, who is sewn on the Tyne, who recommended me for that. And on Tamlin's recommendation, I got in touch with them and I got picked, which was absolutely amazing. And that was nearly 2 years ago. But if you want to hear it, the link's down below. Go and have a little listen. The episode is called Long-Term Sewists. So I have cut out the Falconer pants and I am eager to get going. The sewing machine is threaded with navy blue. The overlocker, as you can see here, is in navy blue, and the cover stitch is still in navy blue as well. And shock horror, I hope you're listening, my friend Miss Sweet Pea Green, I'm going to interface the waistband. I'm not an interfacer. It just goes back to the Sitting Girls days of looking at the weight of the fabric and why you're using it. I don't interface viscose. No, just not me. If you do it, you do it. That's fine. There's no right or wrong. It's personal preference. Please remember, a lot of my views are my views. You can do what you like. It's not wrong, right? It's not wrong to interface. You do what you want. But I am going to interface the waistband, even though it is denim. I am going to interface it because I want it to have a little bit of structure, and I've only got a very lightweight interfacing, so I may give it 2 layers. This is Pelham SF 101, which is the one I use for machine embroidery. Sometimes you use that. You iron that onto your fabric to give it a little bit of extra strength, because it's just a very lightweight interfacing and it's on a woven background. Totally love that. So that is top of the list. So I thought it would be a good idea, and I keep saying so I think it would be a good idea to redraft the list of makes. So here is the new list. I just want you to know I'm doing it. Here's the new list of makes. This is my plan for the vlog. Been very good. Been very good for the past few months. So this was the first thing. So on the first one, it was when I had the So Fruity, the first t-shirts, then the Bellums, and then I had the Hopefully section, the Dream section, and Beyond the Dream. So shall we see what's moved around? So on the Essentials section, I have still got 2 t-shirts that I have not made, and they are the brown one and they are the green one, and they are just down here, ready to go in a project bag. If you don't use these project bags, or you've not come across them before, let me just tell you, it was Ruan. Ruan is the Yorkshire Sew Girl. I'm going to say many years ago. It wasn't many years ago. It was probably 3 years ago. But Ruan said, I've got a project bags, and it took off. I'll try and remember to put an Amazon link, but if you just put into Amazon A3 zip top project bags, this thing will come up, and it's got like a white crinkly fabric, zip on the top, and you can get them in different colours. And they do last quite a while. They don't break easily. We use them in school for phonics packs, and they get hammered in school. And because they're in school and they get hammered, they last a year, and then we can't really use them a second year. We have to get new ones. So I've got those in my project bag, and I'm going to come back to the jersey at the end. Just going to pause for a minute. I just remembered a pattern I wanted to add to the list there. So going forward, I have redrafted those makes, and I know it's something very, very small, but I think it's something really, really key to helping me focus my mind for sewing, because whilst I've not been videoing or sewing as such, I've actually written down a whole load of patterns that I've come across either on Instagram or by watching everybody else on YouTube videos, and I've written them all down and thought, well, I really want to do the Hello Gorgeous t-shirt by a Pattern Emporium, and their Sweet Talker bubble sleeve top, and the Andes jacket by Itch to Stitch, and the Hugs and Kisses cami from Pattern Emporium, and the list goes on and on. So I thought, this is ridiculous. I need to have something to focus me. So I thought, I've got a couple of ideas. Are you ready for the first one? I've got myself a whiteboard. On my whiteboard, I am going to prioritise the pattern I'm making now, and the pattern I'm making next, and the pattern I'm making after that. So the first pattern to add to the list is, dum, da, da, da. I feel as if I'm a teacher now. I am a teacher, but I don't work as a teacher because I've had enough of being a teacher. Falconer Pants. Number one, the Falconer Pants. Let's put that down. So, I don't want to put them all on now because I want you to see exactly what it is and exactly how my mind might be working at the moment. We just going to pause for a second. I might have to stop recording because I think we might get a thunderstorm, because in the UK the weather is starting to break. So, the Bell M trousers have moved to the side, even though they're cut out, and the Falconer Pants have moved in. Doesn't look like cut. Thank you, that's better. Okay, then we moved on to the Hopefully section. Now the Hopefully section will move up to being the Essential section. But in the Hopefully section, I have got the wonderful Burnside Bibs by Sew House 7. And if you can remember, I bought this beautiful fabric. Now hold on a minute, I need to find the scraps. Is that the scrap? That's the no, it's not the scrap, that's the piece. This beautiful denim that I bought in boys. Now, I'm pretty certain I saw something similar to this on one of the Rainbow Fabrics Instagram stories. So it is a very lovely lightweight denim with a woven in design. It's not a true jacquard, but it is absolutely stunning, and it is reversible. You could have it either way. And I have cut out already the Burnside bibs in that, because that is something I really, really want to get made. Now, I want to wear those when I go to Oregon this year, because I am seeing Peggy, and Peggy had the most beautiful picture of some Burnside bibs on Instagram. If I can find it, I'm going to pop it in there. If there's no picture there, it's because I couldn't find it. And no, in fact, hold on a minute, I'm going to find it. Pictures. So these Burnside bibs that Peggy's wearing, I think were just absolutely stunning. I think it was the lovely huge design that she had on it. And I thought, I just love that. So tried to find the fabric, couldn't find the fabric. Even went on Blackbird Fabrics in British Columbia to see if they got it from there. Even checked Josephine's, she not got it from there either. So where she got it from, I don't know, but I adore it. So I am going to make the Burnside bibs. So they are now at the top of the Hopefully section. So after the Falconer Pants, it will be dum, da, 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 the Burnside bibs. So there we go. Falconer Pants, Burnside bibs. I might rewrite this after you've gone, because I don't think my writing's very good. And then after the Burnside bibs, I have got two. What's that down there? What's that? Oh, I know what that one is. Forgot that one. It's in my plans. It's in my plans, but it's on the floor. I have 2 knits to make. Now, I have the Risac yet to cut out and the Juniper yet to cut out. And those are patterns that will be cut out in the coming week. It's nice to have a knit project there ready to do, because sometimes I find doing a knit project, it's like it's so quick, it's cathartic, it's like sewing, cleansing your mind. It's a sewing cleansing project. So those 2 need doing, because I will need those, and I thought that the Risac would look fantastic over the Falconer Pants, because it is in a... hitting everything everywhere here at the moment. It's in this beautiful floral fabric, so that will go beautifully with a denim. And I've got some lovely white ribbing. I've got some lovely white ribbing from First of Fabrics that I can put with it so that it works. And then I have got just some pink simple Angora type knit to make the Juniper cardigan by Jennifer Lauren Handmade. Those are on that list of hopefullys. Now, you will have seen, hopefully, and I'll put a card up here. It'll be on one of these sides. It'll be up here. I think it'll be there. Anyway, the card will say to my last video, which was my Beyond the Pink Door unboxing, when we had the most beautiful vintage white fabric. Please excuse me leaning up and down, but my project bags are on the floor. It was this stunning white vintage cotton, and I have decided it will be the Helen's Closet Winslow Culottes. I haven't decided whether I'm going to do the pleated version or to do the tie version, and from what I could gather, the tie version is the piece completely opened up without the pleat put in, and then you tie it round. Now, I'm always very uncertain about things like that, because I feel as if I would look like a sack of potatoes tied in the middle. It would be like you would pull this, these side bits would be pulled across, and I'm not certain. I feel as if it could look very tight over my rear quarters, my derriere. And that is what's putting me off doing the tie version. It's just that. So I am going to, one of the things I'm planning to do is to start looking at the videos that Helen has put out, telling us about how she's made all the decisions and putting the hack in, because it was one of her very first patterns was the Winslow Culottes, and she's re-released it because it's her 10th birthday. So the jury is still out on that one. I thought that the wraparound went on as an addition to the pleats, but it's instead of the pleats, I think. If I'm wrong, you can say so. If you've got an idea as to what you think I should have, please let me know in the comments below whether I should go wraparound or whether I should go pleat. I might put a poll up on Instagram and ask, because I really would like to get this pattern cut out as soon as possible, whether I should go pleat or wraparound. But I am going to have an admission here. I put a poll up last weekend in the early hours of the Saturday morning. Should I do a sew along for the Burnside bibs? And I slept through the results, and the results disappeared. Got to 24 hours and the results had gone. Couldn't get into anything. So I have no idea. When I last looked at it, it looked like people were saying, yeah, do it. But I can't remember. There could have been a surge of no's. But when I went to bed that night, it was definitely like 80%, 85% yes and 15% no. So I have no idea what the result was because I slept through it. Thanks, that was the medication that did that. So that's what I've got there. So that is likely to be number 3 because I have added this to the hopefully section. So that would be the Winslow Culottes being number 3. Now, put them on there. Winslow Culottes, right, they're on there. So there you go, I have 3 makes on my board, but I've just watched the lovely Izzy from Dizzy Quilts and Sews, and she's done a review on the Lane pants, and I think I'll put a link to that video down below, because if you've not seen it, I would heartily recommend you watch it. And Izzy approaches it from the what's all the hype, and you see these patterns blow up. People make them, put them on Instagram, do videos about them, tell you they've made 1,000,001 pairs of it. And it's like, well, okay, it's the in pattern to make. Fine. I've got trouser patterns. Do I need another trouser pattern? Which is the thought I'm trying to make, because I know that I can knock up a pair of free range slacks and they always look good on me. And I am, again, it's this sack of potatoes tied in the middle thing with the Lane pants. And I'm always a bit uncertain about wide leg trousers as well. So I have added to the hopefully section the Lane pants, and I have the linen I was going to make the burnside bibs out of, which was given to me years and years and years ago by someone who I worked with up at the boarding school behind me. So I could use it for that. I could mock up a pair of Lane pants to see if they actually worked. So it's there as a possibility. So then I've moved on to the Dream section. Now, if you remember, the Dream section had the oxbow pants in it, and they are still in the Dream section, but there are possibly a couple of tops I'd like to make before I go to Oregon. And one of them is the I can't remember. Let me just check the name of it. It's one of these. It's the Sweet Talker bubble sleeve top. I'll pop it in again. I've mentioned it in all my latest videos, and I think it would be lovely. I think it would look great in white underneath the burnside bibs. So it's a pattern I'm thinking, should I print it, download it, and then cut it out with the Winslow Culottes to see if I can pay pattern Tetris and get the most out of that beautiful white fabric? That's a possibility. But the other one is the lovely Ashton top by Helen's Closet, which I have purchased today, which also has a sleeve edition pack. And one of the sleeves is this beautiful, like I would call it a tulip sleeve, where it goes like this. Can you see it up there? I'm going to do a zoom in on that one on the camera when I put it in. So I've got those patterns. I bought them today because she's still got the 25% sale. So that's what I want to do. Now, finally, the other thing I would love to add to my list of makes is the Slow Can top by Helen's Closet, and that is a t-shirt vest top with a built-in shelf bra. I am not very well endowed up top, so shelf bras are fine by me. I can get away with them. I know other people can't, but I can. I'm very, very lucky like that. And then at the bottom, sort of beyond the Dream, I've got the Lazo jumpsuit, the Avenir jumpsuit, and I've got my dress for Sophisticated, which is a vintage Vogue pattern. So moving forward this week, what are my plans? I have obviously got the virtual online sewing tonight. I'm going to an in-person sewing social next weekend, which I'm looking forward to because it's Izzy's social and I love going to Izzy's socials. And apart from that, oh, the other thing I'm doing this week is I have 2 alterations, and I can hear you all saying, why do you do it? Why do you do it? I think sewing is one of those gifts that you have that you need to share. And share your time in showing somebody how to do something at a sewing social or with a bit of teaching. But sometimes people don't want to learn to sew, but need a little bit of help with something turning up. And I have got a couple of friends in the village, and I am more than happy to do bits of sewing for friends in the village, and that's all it is. There's a lovely prom dress. I'm just going to put a little bit of footage here of me looking at the prom dress the first time. I have now taken up the prom dress. I'm just letting it hang, because the lining is a little bit heavier and it's dropped more. So I'm going to have another look at that tonight. And I'm also altering a dress for another lady in the village. She needs it sorting at the shoulders. Don't want to go into any details about that. And then my lovely friend Nancy, who I did the dress for last year for the Royal Mandy, she's in her 80s and she rings me up every time she's got trousers that need taking up. Why would I say no to Nancy? Why would I say no to any of them? It doesn't bother me. I'm not doing them all the time. It's just that they've all come at the same time. It's my decision. And I feel it's just a little way of giving to the village. People know it's me, but I do say no. I had one lady that rang me up or got in touch with me and wanted something doing, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that one. So I told her I was busy. So I do say no. I'm more likely to say yes to people that I actually know. And these people I do know. One is a neighbour and one is a friend at the other end of the village, so it doesn't matter. So that is what I've been doing. Oh, and what do you all think about me naming these In Stitches? This is In Stitches 3. Just a little recap of my sewing week and what I've been doing. I just thought it'd be quite nice to give it a name. So, on that note, oh, I've got one more thing. I went a couple of weeks ago, it will be 2 weeks ago tomorrow, Castle Howard. I did a behind the scenes tour. Oh my gosh, I went up the dome. Have a look at it. There's a pole here. Oh wow.
So they're not the stairs, but just watch your head.
I'm going to, yeah. I'm just going to put a tiniest bit on my sewing vlog. So if I can just go round before everybody gets up, and then I'm going to cut it out.
So just watch your head on the stairs as you come into the day. And if we just filter around, you should do this. Yeah, that's fine now. It's just this thing here, I think they can stand up for it. Do you not think?
You think the opposite?
So what do you think about that? Isn't it amazing? I couldn't believe how much height there was from the top of the, on the top on where the walkway is, before you actually hit the actual dome itself. And Adrian, was it Adrian? No, it was Matthew that took us around. Matthew was so good, and I got up there first, so as you can see me coming out the top, and what I actually say to Matthew is, I'm just going to do a bit of videoing for my vlog, and he was like, yeah, get on with it. It was just fantastic. And then we did a tour, and I'm not going to bore you with this, we went into the burnt out section, which was just fantastic, to see what was in there, how they've preserved what they've got. He talked to us a lot about the history of the building and how the building was used. And then we went down into the cellars where the heating system is. So it was from the highest point to the lowest point. So on that very happy note, I'm going to say goodbye for now. And I should be back with you next week after I've been to Izzy's Sewing Social. So have a fantastic week in sewing. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed, do you fancy giving me a subscribe? That would be fantastic. So for now, I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.